I mean, Nuke looks like SK starting T side, sorry. Um,
Okay, I'm
last,
not sure how much you heard of me talking. When did I lag out?
you legged out a while ago, I think.
Oh, okay, I was gonna ask how do you think the map? How do you think Nuke is for both teams? What's the stronger side for each team on the map, and how many rounds are both teams looking to get in this first half? Like realistically.
Well, I think both teams' stronger side is CT. At the same time, M5 looked really sloppy on CT versus Mandic. Like, if they couldn't get a easy 8-1 lead versus Mandic, you gotta assume that SK is gonna be able to get a couple more rounds here. So I think M5 really needs to build up as many CT rounds as they can, because SK is just one of the best CT-sided teams in the game. I mean, I guess Delpan's not going to be opping as much on this map, although sometimes he does. And maybe if he's feeling on fire this tournament, he'll op a little bit more. But yeah, they've really got to make sure they get as many on CT as they can, especially starting CT, so they have the momentum going in the second half. But at the same time, SK is a strong T-side team also on this map, mostly because of Forrest, in my opinion. I think he's the main person that kind of just dominates people on this side. I mean, Get Right obviously still good, and the others, but I mean, I think Forrest makes or breaks the big halves for SK on this map.
And we talked about that a little bit before in previous streams. That I think we both agree Forrest might be the world's best Nuke T-side player.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think all the angles suit him. Every single angle, like going ramp suits him, going inner. He's got the high sense, so being in the rafters doesn't give you an advantage versus him because he can come out, kind of clear all of it pretty quickly. And if you are behind him and you miss a little bullet, he'll turn around and just headshot you. He's one of those players that if you start missing him and he turns around and sees you, you will die if you don't kill him. He's not like other players that will panic and kind of swing around and start spraying. He'll just aim at your head and click. So a map like Nuke, where a lot of times you don't kill people that quick because you're shooting them like half blind or smokes are in the way, and there's a lot of chaos on this map. So if he jumps out of a corner and you hit him 2 times in the leg, he's going to turn around and kill you, which is why I think one of the reasons he's really good, because a lot of people can't finish kills super quick on this map, opposed to like Inferno, where it's a lot easier to just instantly kill someone. But I think that has to do with like a lot of the different angles on this map that you play.
I agree. Well, obviously Dosia is the star player of M5, but I actually think Fox is usually the one who puts up big numbers in CT side nukes for this team. Who do you think is going to be the key for Moscow 5 to put up a big half here?
Yeah, I mean, Fox is like similar to Taz, in my opinion. He likes that top hut, he likes lurking around on nuke, like around the hut area, and he's really effective at it. So yeah, I'd agree that Fox needs to step his game up here, because SK do go inner a lot. And then Edic needs to make sure that he does not get killed by Forrest lurking outside with like Robin and stuff. Because I mean, Edic does like playing really aggressive, but you don't play aggressive versus Forrest. Like, that's just not someone you do that versus, because he's going to kill you. So he's got to be careful that he doesn't overextend on some of these battles that he likes taking. Because where you can overextend versus Mandic because they aren't as skilled, I mean, you got to assume SK is going to punish these guys if they do too much over-peeking.
So, just waiting here for SK to get ready to go live. Ramesh asking.
I don't think that was the best question to answer.
Yeah, they probably don't want to hear the answer to that one. For those wondering, SK absolutely demolished DTS in their quarterfinal. ESC is currently live against Next from Kazakhstan, by the way, starting CT side on Dust 2, and they're up 2-0 right now. So I'll give you guys some score updates here and there on that match as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it usually takes a bit to get these games started, but Delpan seems to be connecting and hopefully can start pretty soon.
Yeah, I feel like this is usually the case where if we wait to make sure we don't have to talk for forever before the match actually goes live, then it just never starts and we just end up here talking and boring everyone out of their minds, and then when we don't, we just have to hop in like as soon as the restarts come. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I feel like there's no good call here.
Yeah, I mean, it always takes a while to get these games started, unfortunately, but there's obviously nothing we can do about that. It's the most annoying thing about CS tournaments is waiting. Maybe in the future events will be held a little bit more on time. Like the Nixon tournament he ran started pretty much all on time, and that was pretty nice. Kind of go live a couple minutes before, and the match would usually start around exactly at the time that it said. I understand that people have problems and stuff, but, you know, I think a lot of it has to do with people just taking breaks and stuff for smoking and whatnot. But Delpan still is not connected.
At this point, I'd like to point out that Sean Garris is a failure in Dream Team, and he has chosen to leave all of our private leagues that we used to be competing in. He made a really bad choice by picking a ton of entity players, completely crashed and burned, and then left our leagues like a little bitch that he is.
He does that occasionally, by the way. He'll when he does good, he talks shit, but when he does bad, he leaves all leagues. But I mean, if you search hard enough, you can find him near the bottom of the 5,000 people that are in Dream Team.
Yeah, he's probably, I think closer to 6,000, so he's probably somewhere around 5,500, give or take.
Yeah, probably. I'm actually gonna go check. Tell me if it goes live. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Alright, I found it. I'm gonna post it in the Winout channel. If anyone wants to laugh at Sean Gare's stream team, it's in the chat there. As you can see, he's currently ranked 3,039th out of 6,029. All his players have minuses. So, don't take notes from him.
Still waiting on Delpan, who apparently has problems with his mumble. Other matches all tied up at 2 apiece right now, between Next and ESC.
Well, since I know some of you like this kind of stuff, I guess, should I break down a couple people's settings here, I guess? For, Forest, I guess?
That's what people usually like to hear.
Alright, so if anyone's curious, Forest, arguably the best player in the server. You know, Get Right, probably, I mean, you can argue that Get Right's better, but I think Forest has more impact. We'll go with him. Forest, 3.5 cents, large green, uses 2 no-4, 640. Kinzu with a SK pad, and 6 at 11, 400 DPI, 100 mouse hertz, or 100 monitor hertz, 500 mouse hertz. So he's pretty high sense. Probably one of the best players that plays with a high sense. I guess Starks and Edward also use 3.5 with you know, it's basically the same settings as Forest, but like with a different Starks uses a different mouse, and Edward pretty much copied him. I'm actually pretty certain that Edward copied Forest settings. By the way, I don't understand. It's a very big coincidence if he didn't. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. What do you think about people that use really high sense, Tommy? Do you think that if you're good with it, that's... I mean, obviously, if you're good with something, that's good, but like, what would you think on average it's probably better to use a medium sense or a low sense?
Well, I mean, theoretically, a medium sense is the one that makes the most sense because it keeps aiming slightly easier, while at the same time giving you the option of moving quicker and checking more corners. But if you are like Forrest and you just have, I don't know, something special going on in that wrist that lets you hit every shot even with a faster sense, like we're seeing right now with those 4 headshots there. Yeah, and 5 kills total. I guess that's just gonna let you get your crosshair on the other guy's head even faster. I mean, it's just finding a good balance for you is what it comes down to, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that for anyone watching that does use high sensitivity or anything like that, if you're going to use a higher sense, try to move around as much as you can with your wrist when you're clearing corners, when you're aiming. Don't use your arm. If you use your arm with high sense, you will fail. Like, you can have good games, you can hit nice shots, sure, but you'll be way more consistent if you move your wrist, because then you can move small movements so you won't ever overshoot. If you want to aim with your arm, you should use a lower sense. Obviously, there's no like proof of this, but it's just like kind of what I've gathered. It does make a lot more sense to use wrist with higher sense. Obviously, everyone uses wrist to aim somewhat, but a lot of people like aim a lot with their arm when they're just like running around. You know, if you watch a player like Forrest, you'll only see his hand move. You don't see his actual arm on the table ever move, and that's why I think he can control it so well. But yeah, hopefully this gets started pretty soon.
ESC right now tied up at 3-3 in their match. Just to give you guys a quick update since not a lot going on with this match right now.
Damn it, Fallen. You went -7. Imagine, oh well, 24 and 20, another game. It's
well,
okay.
at least I'm beating you. I guess that's the most interesting. I mean, that's the most important thing. I think we all agree on that.
It's funny. It's funny that.
It's funny that I'm always beating you.
They're gonna lose. EC are gonna lose to Next. Adren's gonna rape them.
I certainly hope not, for my dream team's sake. And I really also want to see that SK versus ESC Grand Final, even though the WCG stream is just horrendous, and that's surely going to make it less fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really understand what they were thinking with their stream. I don't know if it has something to do with like bandwidth, where they don't have enough to do a high quality stream, but it just seems like the whole system is terrible. You have people, just average kids, sitting in their basement streaming at higher quality than WCG. Like, how does that make any sense? I don't understand. We're in the year 2011 and you can't have 1080p. Like,
well, even just 720p would be fine. But I feel like they're using like, I mean, obviously it doesn't exist, but if there was like 90p option, I think that's more realistic for their stream quality. And I mean, we're not in like competition or anything because they're doing matches that we don't even have access to. But I was trying to watch a match earlier on their stream, and the stream quality is just so bad. It's not even enjoyable because it's hard to see what's going on.
Yeah. And the match is live here, Piss Around underway. We got, I don't know if they dropped any USBs. Looks like Robin has a smoke. They might be doing some type of, yeah, I think they have a couple nades, so.
Forrest once again, USP armor.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to give anyone a USP on your team, you give it to Forrest. Like, it just...
Well, he is possibly the world's best USP player. Interesting head stack outside.